Good evening and welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. This is a surprise edition. It's Tuesday, March 8th, I hope, 2016. And welcome. This is a late FiberCast that I was supposed to do last Friday night, but as I hope you know, I was caught in traffic going from Napa down to San Francisco and I didn't have internet connection. So welcome. We're going to try machine quilting again. And I hope that you're doing well and that you're having a good week. And we're going to try and see what we can get done in 60 minutes here on a Tuesday night in the Simply Colorful studio. As always, send me email, post onto the Simply Colorful website on Facebook. Oh, wow, where's my tongue? My email address is lmarquidant@gmail.com. lmarquedant@gmail.com. I'm Lynn. This is all about sewing together. Grab a project and let's see what we can do. So, when I left you last, I had tried and failed at doing some machine quilting with my Bernina. And I had set things up very hastily last week. And several of you sent in many comments that were incredibly useful. First of which was to lower my Bernina down to the level of the rest of my table. So I'm doing that. And I must say that several of the suggestions from last Friday I have not had time to do because I've been traveling and I've been working. But I did have this one already sandwiched, this second quilt, or another quilt that I think I showed you last week. And it has a combination of pins and the thread basting, and I'm going to try to, now that my machine is lowered and it's flat with this, and now that this is basted, even though I'm not going to do the spray basting with it and I'm not doing more hand basting and it's still pretty loose, I'm going to give it a try because I wanted to get something done. And Bob was downstairs and I'll tell you all about what he's working on, and this timing was just right, and I hope at least a few of you are out there working away, or maybe just coming back from work, or an activity for the day, and we can catch up midweek. So again, what I'm going to do, and I usually do, especially on these, well, on any quilt, but these laptop quilts, is I'm going to put a couple of stay lines through the middle of it and through the center of it, kind of like X's. And that just helps it stay a little bit more in place, but then I usually work from the middle out. And I have my walking foot on, and actually I am going to start in the middle here, and I'm literally going to put on my gloves, and I'm going to stitch in the ditch. And this shirt will pick up probably every piece of lint. It's incredibly staticky, but I wanted to wear it along with putting my crocus and daffodil quilt behind me because it feels like spring here in the Northeast. It's supposed to get up to 70 degrees tomorrow. We'll see. I sure hope so. Okay, so I've pulled that up. Let's see what kind of a mess we can make tonight. Okay, and I have it halfway down. Oh. Okay. Now, when I say I have it halfway down, what I mean is my speed on my Bernina. From the negative to the plus, I have it about in the middle so that I don't go too fast. Okay. This is about as far as we got last time. And something is looking very funny on my thread as it's going up and down. Oh, it just broke. Oh boy. Let's see what we can do here. That's not good. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's pull this out. All right, the back looks great for what it's worth, but if I can't get it threaded, then we're okay, down. There we go. Okay, thread the needle. That's another step forward. I'm using white on top and a coral on the back. And of course, they're from different manufacturers. So it could or could not work, but so far it's working beautifully. Famous last words. Because I want to tell you what I've been up to, and I want to hear what you've been up to. And I want to share some pictures you've all sent in. But let's get a few stitches under our belt first. Okay, I'm going to go over. Actually, I'm going to start way over here. See how this does. Okay, and I'm pulling both the back and the front ends up. I don't know if you can see this. Who's been watching Fonz and Porter? Has anyone been watching that on TV? I've been watching it on the weekends, and what reminded me of, and why I just mentioned it, was they have a good second camera, I noticed, when they show their guest or when they show anything. And it's always fun to see what they're doing. They're not doing anything that's earth-shattering, really, that none of us aren't doing. Okay, so far, this is working really well. I made this quilt years ago from a couple of charm packs. Probably the first time I ever used a charm pack. My friend Jen Sorensen from the Boston Modern Quilt Guild and from A Quilted Jewel showed me how to do it and showed me this pattern. We got together one Saturday with her aunt. We had a good time. Okay. This is good. So much better than last time. And I'm literally just stitching in the ditch. And with the walking foot, it pretty much goes itself, so you really don't need your gloves as critically. So I'm going to go over a couple, then I'm going to go down. Very random, that's for sure. Good. Just want to pin it down. And I thought this color, this quilt would be fun because it's also spring-like. Thought we'd have some fun. I saw a field of purple crocus earlier today. Right up on Wood Street here in Hopkinton. Beautiful. I'm an errant. You can hear I have my dinger on my phone. Mom, get ready. I'm coming to your place with more dings again. All right. So, several of you, including some brand new quilters, asked about machine quilting. And clearly from last week, you know that I am no expert. And we got some great tips from everyone. And the thing is to just keep practicing, keep doing, keep listening to your fellow quilters. I'm definitely going to try the spray adhesive. I'm convinced, but this one was already sandwiched, so definitely didn't want to undo it, to tell you the truth, since I already had to undo my Christmas sampler quilt last week. Okay. I had every intention last week in California to show you some more crocheted animals, and I did make a little progress that I'll show you in a minute. But like I say, I was literally in the car. One of my co-workers, Michael, was driving, and I tried to get internet, but we were just moving too fast, and it just wasn't going to work. Even though once we were in Napa and when I was in San Francisco, the internet was perfect. It was fine. It was just happened that the timing was such that we were heading down to the airport. So I'm sorry if you were looking for me. You know I don't like to do that. I like to be there if I say I'm going to be there. So thanks for those of you who sent me an email and asked for me. I appreciate it. And I'm just fine. And I'm machine quilting. I'm psyched. And my Bernina's working beautifully, knock on wood. There we go. But once again, you know, machine quilting is one of those things that it's not very interesting to show you. Like doing a Dear Jane block, that's so satisfying because we get to show each other the results, right? But, you know, like I showed you last time, I have way too many lap quilts that have to be finished. And really it's just you're sewing in your room. We're keeping each other company with the sound of our machine, the meditation of it all. Okay. So I'm just, as you can see, I'm tacking down the inner part. There we go. The throat on this machine is not all that big. And I may have to turn up the speed. You'll notice I've been good. I've been keeping it at medium. That's where I get into trouble, though. I get moving along, and it's going very nicely, and then I get impatient, and I crank up the speed, and then I go off my lines. My friend Sarah is back home from her trip to Florida, which is great. I've yet to see her. But that's always good. Okay. There we go. Who knows, maybe I could get the binding on and bring this down and sew on it at my mother's house. How many of you do that? Do you plan your handwork with where you're going? Oh, ding! Who's out there? Aw. Happy International Women's Day, everyone. How nice. Apparently the color for International Women's Day is purple. So today at work on our internal website, they've turned the website from its usual blue to a purple, and before I realized what today was and what had happened, I was looking at the header, you know, the top of most websites, and I saw this beautiful regal purple that wasn't too garish, wasn't too bright, wasn't too red, wasn't too blue, just perfect. And I thought, oh, I love this new. I wondered if maybe we were going with this new color with our company merger, because the company I work for is being merged with another company. And then I realized, no, it was just to symbolize International Women's Day. But I thought that was funny. Sometimes they'll change it to pink when we're doing a Cancer Awareness Day, which is kind of neat. Once again, showing that color really can be symbolic. And like anything that you sense, it's a mix that goes into what we do sense, and it's as important as other things. Okay. So in a minute, after I finish doing this around, I want to show a few pictures that people have sent in. And if you happen to be out there, make sure to send me pictures of what you're working on, or post it on the Simply Colorful Facebook page so others can see it, or on Google+. I do realize there are a lot of choices nowadays for what you can watch. So for those of you who are out there and who are doing this virtual sewing bee with me, thank you for joining me. It's really kind of cool. I love watching people who are sewing or just being with people. I love the sound of the machine. And I promise, well, no, this isn't a show about teaching, but I'll try to get more content coming in here. I just have found that, so we're coming up on 2 years and January, February, March, 3 months of doing FiberCast. And one thing that I have amassed are a lot of quilt tops that I have to finish, and I'm just not getting them finished during the week when I'm working, so that's why I do it now. Okay. And you know, maybe we'll get into something else. Maybe we'll finish up these quilts. We've just done a couple of, we did the sampler, we did the mystery quilt. I'm, as you know, definitely into these dolls, so maybe we'll have some fun with a doll. I know some of you like doing other things, have expressed that. Oh, it's looking good. Look at that, no puckers. Yay. Okay. Very good. So I'm going to keep going around and putting like stay stitching in, but let me see who's out there and see if I can share some pictures of what a few of you have submitted over the last couple of weeks. Oh, but first, this day in history. Today's date is March 8th. It's 2016. Did you know that in 1950, on this day, the Volkswagen bus went into production? Volkswagen, the maker of the Beetle automobile, expanded its product offerings to include a microbus. Went into production 1950 on March 8th. It was officially known as the Volkswagen Type 2. The Beetle was the Type 1, or the Transporter, and the bus was a favorite mode of transportation for hippies. Yikes! Okay. In 1669, so many hundreds of years ago, Mount Etna erupted. It's on the island of Sicily in modern-day Italy. It began rumbling. Multiple eruptions over the next few weeks actually killed more than 20,000 people and left thousands more homeless. Most of the victims could have saved themselves by fleeing, but stayed. Well, again, it was 1669. Who knew? 2 years ago, Malaysia Airlines, the flight vanished with more than 200 people aboard. Flight 370, carrying 220 passengers, and 12 crew members, lost contact with air control less than an hour after taking off from Kuala Lumpur, and then it veered off course and it disappeared. And despite a massive air and sea search effort for the Boeing the Beijing-bound Boeing 777. They still have not found it. So that is definitely a mystery that remains. In 1957, on this day, March 8th, Egypt opened the Suez Canal. In 1993, MTV's highest-rated series premieres. What do you think that is? All right, so here is your first Jeopardy question. On this day, March 8th, 1993, the Music Television Network aired the first episode of an animated series. There's your tip, animated series. What was the name of it? Okay, I'm going to sew once around the block here, and if anyone out there knows, send me an email, lmarquidot@gmail.com. I have the hiccups. So you'll see I'm just going to do another square around here. And I never did show you any pictures yet, did I? Got carried away. Oh, a couple of weeks ago I said, after I read my sister Karen's text at the beginning of the hour, she sent a picture of what she was doing, and then I said, oh, I'm going to wait till the end and show everyone. And then, of course, I forgot. Thank you to those of you who reminded me. What she showed me was a flask of beer, or a mug of beer. And I thought, oh, I'd wait until the end of FiberCast and then show everyone that as our little treat, and I completely forgot. She had just finished, I think, her second week of a new job. Do y'all remember what new jobs are like? They're intense because you have to learn so much. Everything is new. Of course, conversely, for those of us who have stayed at a job for a while now, our local paper, the Boston Globe, had a report, and it called People Who Stayed at Their Jobs, literally at the company I work for, but it didn't really matter which company it was. They basically called people who stay at their jobs too long as dinosaurs. Yeah, we've heard that before, haven't we? You can't win. Either you jump from job to job and you never build institutional knowledge. There is some value in that, but maybe not as much as there used to be, because things really have changed, as I know I talk about a lot. In fact, the conference I was at last week or the week before, someone claimed that what freshmen are learning in college this year will be antiquated in 4 years when they graduate. I think that's a little extreme, or at least I hope so. The other thing I heard, and not surprising, but just to hear it again, excuse me, my scissors dropped, was that we are woefully lacking in computer cybersecurity skills. So if anyone out there has anyone who's looking for a career or has skills in that area, I strongly encourage them to continue on that path if they have any aptitude for it. Computer forensics, big data analytics. You know, the world, all of us are amassing so much information, and it's creating both opportunity and it's changing the way we live, but it's also introducing huge security holes, privacy questions, ethical questions that frankly only some people can even begin to understand and figure out and guide us. In fact, I think a data scientist job, whatever that is, right? Or some of them are calling it a data engineer, is going to be probably like an engineering job, or it's going to be the doctor or the lawyer position, professional position of the next generation. And you can call in people from the other room and say, my quilting lady has gone off the deep end. What is she talking about? This is working so well. I'm so happy. You know, what's that adage? If you don't succeed, try again. What else? So, while I continue to go around, let me remind everyone what the question is. On this day, March 8th, I think it was 1993? Yep, MTV released the first episode of an animated series. It would go on to become the network's highest rated series up to that point. I'll even give you another clue. So my question is, what's the name of that series? It's animated on MTV. It offered audiences rude and crude buddy humor. $1993. And I can remember coming home and my sister watching it. I didn't know what it was. Or her friends, and I laughed. Come a long way since 1993. Let's see who's out there, if anyone's answered. Hey, Beth Allen! Hi, Beth Allen! I'm so glad you're out there. I could call you just Beth, couldn't I? She says, what a fun surprise. I'm glad you're okay. I wondered about last week. Probably missed your notes, as I'm not a Facebooker. Good point. I need to get into Instagram, don't I? From Napa to SFO, you probably went through Novato on Highway 101. That's where I grew up. Yes, we did. You grew up in a beautiful part of the world. My sunny skies is below, loving this quilt. Good to see you. Oh, Beth, I love your quilt too. Look at that. Oh, Beth, that is coming along beautifully. I love the gray you picked for the X's and O's. Oh, my sister's going to love that. Ah. Mickey! Hi, Mickey. Actually, Lisa. Why do I call you Mickey? We've already talked about this before, too. Lisa, hi. She says, so nice to see you on tonight. Her oldest daughter and her son are here visiting. She says, we ate a wonderful supper and have an hour before we go to town to the Rialto to see Risen. It's supposed to be very good. Oh, very good. Well, it's good to see you. Nice to see you before you go see your movie. Patty, I'm here. Patty says, I tried to find you on Friday night. Said it would post on March 5th. Yes, that's another thing I goofed up. I said I would do it on the 4th, and it was going to post on the 5th. I tried on Saturday, but still couldn't find you. I never can find your blog for some reason to see if you were out of town or something came up. I hope everything is okay. I need to get better at that. Missed your smiling smile and upbeat talks. Patty English in Monroe. Hi in Monroe, North Carolina. I am A-OK. Wendy. Hi, Wendy. She says, hello, Lynn and all Fibercasters from Australia. She says, yay, this is my second time watching live. So this was when we were last on live. But it didn't get to me. It had to travel over the waves to get to me from Australia. She says, letting you know that my youngest daughter that watched with me last week is 21. Remember I said hi to her? We were giggling, and I didn't know if her youngest daughter was 2 or 20. That's funny. This is a photo of my oldest girl, Crystal, holding her chevron crocheted blanket I just finished. Now I'm on to a big one for my oldest son, Adam. Crystal and I have been doing a bit of Dear Jane, and I can see how it can become addictive. No kidding. She says, I will send pictures when I have a few done. Hope you and everyone out there is well and happy. I'm enjoying a bit of rain left over from the cyclone that hit Fiji, and I'll see you soon. Oh, and look at your chevron. Oh, the chevron afghan and your oldest daughter. That's beautiful. Both are beautiful. Oh, that's a lot of crocheting. I love it. Thank you. Thanks for writing, Wendy, and I hope we catch you again soon, live. Let's see. Oh, yay! Cassandra, hi. She says, this is how I'm spending my afternoon. I must go to a funeral this evening. Not looking forward to it. Friends lost the youngest of their 6 kids. He was only 31. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully spending a little time in front of this girl helped ease the sorrow. Aren't we so lucky to have our sewing? Carol. So I'll do one more, then we'll go back to this, and then we'll answer the question. A light bulb moment, says Carol. She says, as I was watching your FiberCasts, oh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, everyone. Woo! Carol says, I was thinking you should get a world map and some stick pins that you can clue your viewer's name to wherever they live. And she says, I think we'd be surprised on how many viewers we have, and then you can show your viewers on the broadcast. It's a great idea. Excuse me. Do you think our viewers have allergies too? Oh, Carol, that's a great idea. All right, so back to our trivia question. What show did MTV preview in 1993 on March 8th that went on to become their greatest animated hit of the time? Okay, I'll tell you. B&B or Beavis and Butthead. Oh my goodness. You never know what was going to happen on this day in history. Did anyone see the photographs of the prince and princess? I don't have with their 2 children, Prince William and Kate, and their 2 children dressed up in their skiing outfits. Just beautiful. All right, so now we've got that square done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to move out here and do another square around. I'm stitching in the ditch. And then I can come back and do stippling, or I could do some flowers. Right into the corner there. Okay, let's see. How are we doing on time? Ooh, I think I might wrap this up. I think we are getting to be about 50 minutes. Excuse me. Why don't I show everyone my crocheted items, and then we are going to call it a wrap. So this is one that, oh, and I forget, I'm going to find out who it was. So this is a kitty. It's still in process. Needs a face, but it has a tail. So there's the kitty. And there's one that has a girl that has her little skirt that's really cute. I wanted to make a matching one. Oh, here we go. Excuse me. Then this one is ridiculous looking. I haven't finished it yet. Looks like an udder, doesn't it? But those are meant to be feet. And I'm going to have long arms and maybe long ears, so that's going to be a bunny. And that's all I've done. But this one will be cute when he has his face on. So I think I'm almost done with this little side project. They're fun to make. I'm glad I know how to make them. And they'd be cute. Oh, I saw something really cute. You make the animal, I think it was knitted, and then you knit down a blanket. So a child could carry his or her critter and then have the long blanket that could be their blanket with it. Very cute. And I still have her, I showed you this one from last time, right? On our Easter theme. She's a little blah, but you could dress her up with anything. Oh, and this is another thing I wanted to show everyone. We received such a nice package in the mail from TQM Rulers, and we will use them sometime soon. So I received this package, and I was so interested to hear what it was, and it came from Paola, Kansas. And in it came this ruler, which is the bias ruler TQM product, which folds out, and then you can put it on your fabric and cut it right on the bias. It's a beautiful thing. This is for the bindings, to cut our binding. And then this was great. It's a fold-away ruler. So literally, it opens up like that. So when I'm traveling, I can take that with me. Isn't that great? So again, TQM products, look for them, and we will definitely be using them in future FiberCasts. So thank you for sending them. Wonderful. All right, let me keep going. So again, TQM Rulers. Let me keep going around here, and then we will call it a wrap. And I just want to encourage everyone, just keep sewing, keep creating. Even if you only feel like doing it for 30 minutes and not 60 minutes, that's okay. Because it is amazing what we can get done. And all of these things that I've been making, I am going to give away as gifts. I have decided that. I'd love to see the paintings. Norma, if you're doing any more paintings, let us see them. Sandy down in Mississippi, I hope you're well, and Peggy in Australia, and Allie, and Sue Norton. And of course, my friends Chris and Jean and Kelsey and Carrie and Linda and Cindy. I see you. I hope you're being creative. or enjoying the pleasure of being creative, because there's nothing like it. All right, we're going to speed her up. Let's see if we really go awry. Okay, I just turned the machine up to the plus side. Get ready. Woo! So far, so good. See what I mean? Whee! That could be a t-shirt. Life is short, quilt fast. But it also could be, do you care about results? Don't quilt fast. Or quality, don't quilt fast. Or precision, precision. I'm thrilled. It's working. So get up. What have we learned today? Get up on the horse. I'm going to move it down again. Some days things just go better than others. Again, I really appreciate everyone's advice last week. Now, the question is, what am I going to do this Friday night? Well, we're going to have FiberCast, 8 p.m. Eastern, like always. Got to get back into our regular routine. I'm really sorry I missed you last Friday night. And what I'm still not sure of is where I'll be. I'll either be here in the Simply Colorful studio, or I'll be down at the auxiliary studio at my mom's house. And we've broadcast from there several times, so we know it works. And we'll work on something fun. So grab a project and be thinking about what you're working on this spring. Is there anything you'd like to see us work on that might inspire you or might answer questions, or just, should we do more Dear Jane? That might be a good thing to do as we head into the summer months. We could make a lot of progress on that, and that is one of my UFOs. So that might be a good thing. It's portable. One more, I think. One more. Let me see. Yep, one more side. Ah. Once you get into a rhythm, it's great fun to do this, I must admit. And I'm back down. My speed is about halfway. And we're coming back around to the beginning. And there we go. Well, what a fun time. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed a little surprise FiberCast. I know I did. I'm thrilled with the progress. Keep working on something fun. Send pictures as always. And look for us again on Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here or on the Vineyard. But we will be coming home to you so we can work again together for another 60 minutes. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.